Did you see your sisters change? And what was it like to have to observe that? To see that kind of violence?
Well, you know, during that time, I myself, our house, like this is the block, and our house was in the middle of the block. When I walked out the house, I did not quite know what was happening because we never experienced any war in our life before. And then, after we walked to the end of the block, that was the main road that we supposed to go south and go north. Then I saw people crying, carrying belonging that they can carry, screaming. Some family did not have enough family members at the time that they planned to leave. And some family, their parents were ill and was evacuated from the hospital, in the hospital bed with the IV pole on the side.
This was in 1975.
Yeah, April 24.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that, all of a sudden, I say to myself, this is war. And then I think at that time, I still remember, I say to myself, but we have to go on. And so I think at that time, I blocked myself out from the situation. For 4 years that we were living there and do whatever we were told to do, I think I did not have any feeling. Yeah.
You survived, you know.
I think that's how the body keeps you on going. And I did not have time to observe what happened to my sisters. I did not have time to know what's going on with other people, because you walk just like an empty body that have no soul, but only just breathing, just alive, but there's nothing there, or it was so empty, it was so numb. I didn't feel anything at all.
It sounds like good strategy when there was so much pain out there.
It's just too much that the body cannot take it.
Can't take it.
Yeah. I did see some people became mentally crazy. I did see people commit suicide, jump to the river. I did see people know there is one family. They do not eat pork, and then the Khmer Rouge sometimes in the beginning they offer like a big pot of soup that have maybe 1 pound of pork in there for 100 people, you know, and that family do not eat pork, and they stay believed to their own religion.
Right.
That family, I know that family, husband and wife with 4 children. They just decided to have a good meal, and then they all died together. So they roast a cow, and they eat that for dinner. The next day, the Khmer came and killed them all. And later, in 1976, when we were starved every day, and people just die slowly from starvation. My father was died from starvation.
Your father was dying, or he died from starvation?
He died from starvation.
In 1976?
Yeah, October 10. His anniversary is coming up. Every year on that day we have a ceremony, set up the parade just to remember that. Yeah. And so when you walk out to go to the field to do work, you see people die everywhere. At first, the Khmer Rouge bury each body individually in one hole that they dug, but because later on there were so many die, and it was so hard to dig individual hole, So later they just dug a big hole, and then that day how many died just buried in one hole.
Mm-hmm. What was it that allowed you to just continue?
I think at that time there was one belief in my mind, because the Khmer Rouge destroyed the currencies. No school, no market, no government, nothing. And it did not look like a normal situation, a normal country or a normal society to me. And I just say to myself, when things are so abnormal, it cannot last.
Mm-hmm.
Something had to change. When and how, I didn't know. But I just have that belief that something will change one day. It took 4 years.
Did you have any faith or religious belief or anything that helped you through that?
I don't think so.
It was just a belief that someday it would be different.
Yeah.